Hello 11th class students. Today we will start a new topic and new chapter, that is Kingdom Protista. Students, we have studied about the kingdom Monera, in which we have seen that Monera contains the unicellular organisms of the prokaryotic type of organization. Now students, in the second kingdom among the five kingdom classification, that is kingdom Protista, we will study about the unicellular organisms of the eukaryotic type of the organization, which are somehow have advanced organization as compared to that of the Monera, and which have lower organization as compared to the rest of the three kingdom, that is fungi, plantae and animalia. Students, scientists believe that all the Protista developed from their previous kingdom organization of the Monera. Here students, one thing to be noted that in Protista, the Protista kingdom is the most variable kingdom in among the five kingdom of the classification. It has various type of the organisms. Here some organisms are kept which have their character resembles with the plants as well as some from the animals also. Some also resemble from the lower organization of the Moneran also. That is why the reason that the kingdom Protista, also known as the dustbin of the classification, because sometimes there are no justifications in order to show that why the organisms kept in kingdom Protista, though their characters are resembles with the plant or animals. So first of all students, let's start with the general characteristic features of the kingdom Protista. Then we will see its further subclassification of the kingdom and the characters of the particular member of the groups. So if we start, then in the characters of the very first character of the Protista, that the members are unicellular, just like that of the kingdom Monera, but the Protista have the eukaryotic type of the cellular organization, in which the cell organelles are differentiately present in the cell. So first thing is, the very first character is that unicellular organisms second thing, they are eukaryotes, and most important thing is that they are aquatic, because the life evolved in water, and its first development or first we can say that the evolution of the life took place in the oceans. So from the prokaryotic cell, the generation of the eukaryotic cell took place in the water. So the member of the kingdom Protista are aquatic. Aquatic, that means students, they live in water. Second property is that their cell is complex as compared to that of the Moneran, because they are eukaryotic in nature. Their cell structure is more complex than Monerans. In Monerans students, we have seen that they do not have any movement organelles, that locomotory organs which can help them to move from one place to another place. But in case of Protista, the cell have some locomotory organs like flagella, cilia, pseudopodia, which helps them to move from one place to another place. That means they have locomotory organs. So the third feature is that the Protistans, that means the member of the group Protista, have Protestant can move with the help of either they have cilia, flagella, or they may have some false pseudopodia, false foot. Pseudopodia, podia, that means the feet-like structures which functions as feet, and pseudopodia, that means pseudo, that means false. It is not actually feet, but it functions like the feet. Next, students, in monerans we have seen that there were no cell wall around the cell, but in Protista there is presence of cell wall around the cell, or if there is no cell wall, then some other hard covering is present outside the cell which functions as the cell wall. If cell wall is present, then cell wall is made up of the substance called cellulose. The main constituent of the cell wall of the Protestant group is cellulose. So, here cell may have, it is not compulsorily, but it may have either cell wall or pellicle, a hard covering, or it may be cuticle, or maybe some shell are there which functions like the hard covering of the cell. These are the four characters. Fifth characters, that the nutrition. In terms of nutrition, there is vast diversion is found in the kingdom Protista. They may be autotrophic, may be heterotropic, they may be saprotropic type of the nutrition, or may have holozoic or parasitic type of the nutrition. All these type of the nutrition, mode of nutrition is found in the member of kingdom Protista. So, the fifth point is members may be autotrophic, they may be saprotropic, or we can say saprozoic, they may be holozoic. Holozoic means, students, that they engulf all the food particles inside their body, then digest it, and then through the assimilation, after assimilation they eject out the food. So, the mode of nutrition in which, just like the human being, in which the whole food is taken inside the body, that mode of nutrition is called holozoic mode of nutrition. Or students, they may be parasite. We have studied about the parasite mode of nutrition, that they depends on the other living organisms, and in turns they harm the living organisms or host on which they depend. So, these are the major sources and major mode of nutrition found in the member of the Protista. Next is, students, they have advanced level of cellular organization. In the advanced type of cellular organizations, there are cell membrane bounded organelles are present, like the mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum. All these cell organelles are bounded by the membrane, which are not found in the member of the moneron or in prokaryotic type of the cell. So, next feature is that cell organelles are membrane bounded. Next, if we consider about their mode of reproduction, then students, sexual as well as the asexual mode of reproduction is found in them. But in Monera group, only asexual mode of reproduction was present. Here, the seventh character of the Protista is that a reproduction may be sexual as well as asexual. And when the unfavorable condition rises, then they form a hard covering around them which protect them from the high temperature or the scarcity of the water, etc. So they form the hard covering called cyst. That cyst is responsible to protect them from the unfavorable conditions. So the eighth character is that formation of cyst which protects from unfavorable conditions. So student, these are the important characters of the kingdom Monera which distinguish them from the other kingdom members. Now students, let's see the further classification or subclassification of the kingdom Protista. Students, on the basis of their mode of nutrition and some other characters, the kingdom Protista is further divided into three subgroups. The three groups are, in the first group, all the autotrophic Protista are included. So, the name of the group is autotrophic Protista. Second group is slim mold, and third is protozoan protist. Let's see their further classification. Kingdom Protista. Here, this Protista is further divided into three groups. The first group is autotrophic Protista. Second is slim molds. And third is protozoan Protista. Now students, if we see the further classification of this group, then the autotrophic protists are further subdivided into three subgroups on the basis of their nature. The first is, the three groups are dinoflagellates. The first group is dinoflagellates. Second is diatoms. And third is Euglenophyta. Now students, if we further subdivide the slim mold group, then slim mold group can be further divided into two groups, acellular or non-cellular, and second one is cellular. The first group is we can say it acellular, or it can also known as non-cellular, and second one is cellular group. Students, the acellular group is also known as Maxomycetes, and cellular group is Acrasiomycetes. Now, if we further subdivide the protozoan type of the Protista, then this can be further divided into four classes. One is on the basis of their locomotory organs present in them. First one is Zooflagellata. Second is Sarcodine. Here the third one is Sporozoan, and fourth one is Ciliates. Sporozoans, and the fourth one is in which the cilia are present, it is Ciliates. So students, this is the outline sketch of the classification of the kingdom Protista, in which the whole kingdom is further divided into three main groups. The main group are autotrophic Protista, slim molds, and the protozoan like protist, that is protozoan protist. And each group is further subdivided into different group. Here we can see that the first group, that is autotrophic protist, is divided into three subgroups. That is, first one is the dinoflagellates, second is diatoms, and third is euglenophytes. The slim molds are on the basis of their cellular structure divided into two subgroups, acellular or non-cellular, or we can say it also Maxomycetes. Second one is the cellular group, which is also known as Acrasiomycetes. And the third group, that is protozoan protist, which have well developed locomotory organs, are on the basis of their locomotory organs the zooflagellates, or we can say Zooflagellata, Sarcodines, Sporozoans, and the last one is Ciliates. Now students, let's see their characteristics one by one, that what are the different characteristics on the basis of which they are further divided. The autotrophic type of the protozoans, they have chlorophyll in them, they can perform photosynthesis, that is why they are kept under the group autotrophic Protista. Second is slim molds. In the slim molds students, there is no chlorophyll is present, that means they are chlorophyll-less, as well as they do not have cell wall around their structures. So the cell wall is also absent in them, and they have irregular shape due course of the absence of the cell wall. But in protozoans, they possess the nutrition just like that of the animals. They have the outer covering just like the cell wall called pellicle. Due course of the presence of pellicle, their shape is well definite shape and possess the animal type of the nutrition, as well as they also possess the locomotory organ in them through which they can locomote easily. So students, this is all about the subclassification of the kingdom Protista. Now we will see the model structure of an ideal protista, that how their structure is looks like. See students, this is the ideal structure of the protista, in which they bear a flagellum in order to perform the locomotion, as well as the well cell membrane bounded organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, Golgi body and ribosomes present in its cytoplasm, etc. Second thing is that the nuclear membrane, it is not well distinguished, but somehow it is present, which distinguish the nucleoplasm from the cell cytoplasm. In the nucleus, students, nucleolus and chromatin fibers, which can be considered equivalent to that of the chromosomes, are present in it. So students, this is all about the ideal structure of the member of the kingdom Protista.